right, with me to discuss is retired NYPD Detective Michael Alcazar. Good morning. So glad that you could be with us. So let's begin with your thoughts on the way the suspect was caught eating breakfast at a McDonald's, recognized by a restaurant employee.
Well, good job by that citizen that identified the suspect. Good job by the NYPD disseminating his images, throughout the nation. And excellent work by the police officer that made the apprehension. So, initially, when I heard about it, I thought, millions of tips must be coming in, and this can't be the guy. But as the story unfolded, that they ID'd him and they recovered a manifesto, they recovered a weapon and the suppressor. I just thought it was all around a good work by several people. So kudos to everybody involved.
Yeah, and police admitted they didn't know where he was until yesterday when they got that tip from the restaurant employee. So how important is it to release a photo of a suspect and try to get the public's help in solving a crime?
Oh, that's key. So whenever we get surveillance video, we disseminate any images, any stills we obtain from it, and we release it. Now, this perpetrator had about a day and a half lead on us, so that's what facilitated his escape before we can, show his photographs to the media, which also came into play. So that's investigative 101 right there, recovering images, disseminating it, obtaining DNA evidence, which we have, fingerprints, and we rely on the public to make this identification. I was confident days ago that it was going to be a civilian that would recognize and report him to the police, and they did.
So he is being charged with murder. He's facing 4 other charges. What are the next steps now that he is in custody? When will he be back in New York?
I'm sure they're going to extradite him as soon as possible. He's going to face the charges in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And I'm sure the Manhattan DA is already getting ready to, proceed with his case. So right now we're going over all the evidence that we have. It's important that we have, that it was lucky that he had the weapon on him. He had the manifesto. Hopefully we can get a confession, but it's more key that we can link the weapon that we recovered from him to the scene of the crime via the DNA evidence we got off the bullets, the spent shell casings, the fingerprints. So again, everything is for the prosecution of the case.
What if it's not the same weapon? Is that a problem for?
Yeah, that definitely could be a problem. We would like to think that we can link it, right? It is a ghost gun. So ghost guns are, manufactured privately. Perhaps this perpetrator made it himself. But typically, when we recover a weapon, we try to link it via the barrel. The barrel has a unique rifling that is transferred over to the cartridge, to the bullet. And if that's the case, that's great. It's good evidence. If it's not the same weapon, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. We're still going to get his DNA evidence, right? We're going to swab him for DNA. We're still going to get his fingerprints, and if that is linked to the water bottle, to the cell phone, and again to the ammunition, that'll be great for the DA. And
a last question for you, and I know I'm skipping ahead a few steps here, but if this goes to trial, how do you find a jury who hasn't heard of the case? And I ask that because of the popularity, the notoriety this individual has received online.
Yeah, sure. The lawyers and the district attorney will have to voir dire their potential jurors carefully. I'm sure there's somebody there that hasn't been on social media, haven't been on the news, so it's going to be a little bit challenging, but I'm sure they'll accomplish it.
Thank you so much, retired NYPD Detective Michael Alcazar. Appreciate your time with us once again today.